welcome back to my channel. So today I have a very exciting video. I will be reading the personal statement as well as the diversity statement that got me into all of my schools that I applied to. So if you're interested in seeing what I wrote about, then keep watching. I just want to go ahead and explain some things for people if you don't know. So when you're applying to law school, among other things, you must write a personal statement, which that will vary between schools. Some of them have a page limit of 2 pages, and then some of them have a maximum of 4 or 5. I personally would suggest that you stick to 2 because that's pretty standard across most of the schools. But I know like other schools, like when I was looking to Berkeley, they allowed up to like 4 or 5 pages. But I just stuck with 2 pages because that was pretty much universal for all the schools that I was applying to. So I just made sure that I did not pass 2 pages. Also, the diversity statement is optional, but the kind of approach that I took when applying to law school is that anything that was optional was not optional for me. I wanted to make sure that I was selling myself in every way, and that's really what it is. When you have this opportunity for a personal statement and a diversity statement, it's a chance for you to pitch yourself to a group of people that don't know you. And it's a chance for you to pitch yourself and sell yourself beyond your grades, beyond your resume, beyond your LSAT score. It's a chance for them to get to know who you are. And when I thought about it, I said, this is a chance for them to get to know who Aubrey Sales is. And I guarantee you, if I get a chance to tell them who I am, they won't regret it. And it kind of did work in my favor. Next thing I want to say is that a personal statement, I'll say the personal statement in particular, was the most challenging thing for me outside of the LSAT. It was because I had so many ideas, and honestly, I'm going to be honest with y'all, I drafted 5 different personal statement drafts before I got to the one that I submitted. Yes. It was very annoying. It was very tiring. But I would say that the product that I got at the end was exactly what I wanted to convey to the admission boards where I submitted my applications. And so that is something I will say to people is a piece of advice. Do not be discouraged by having to write multiple drafts and multiple revisions of maybe even just one paper, because that's what it's going to take to have the best possible personal statement or diversity statement. I also would say that make sure you get multiple people to read your personal statement, because you might think that it's just, it's that stuff. Because I'm not going to lie, my first one, I was like, yeah, this is it right here. This is it. And in fact was not it. But I needed people to read my personal statement, and different people. I had to get people, I'm being completely honest, that were different ages than me, different ethnicities than me, different backgrounds than me, to read my paper to make sure that it was conveying what I wanted to say appropriately, that anybody could get what I was trying to say, if that makes sense. Definitely, 1, be prepared to write multiple drafts and revisions to your personal statement and diversity statement. 2, get multiple people to read over it, check it, give them their honest advice. But learn not to get too many people. I wouldn't personally get more than maybe 3 people to look over it, because people are going to start trying to put their own biases and opinions in it, and it's actually not helping you. And then also start early. I really think that I was able to pump out 5 different drafts, because the first draft I wrote was written February of 2021, and I applied December 2021. So that was almost 10 months ahead that I was writing my first draft. And so it gave me a lot of time to see what worked and what didn't work. It gave me time to completely scratch it and start over. And it also gave me time to sit and really think, what did I want to tell these admission committees about myself, and how will I be able to make myself stand out among the bunch? And so with that, I got my personal statement. Over the years, I have learned the power of my voice. As a baby, I was nicknamed the Howling Child. The name derived from my unusually loud and constant cries. What my family took as a running joke soon became more serious than that. My parents later discovered that the cause for my constant and abnormally loud cries were due to a health issue. I had difficulty breathing, and crying out was my way of communicating that everything was not okay. By the age of 7, I would be notified that I had a speech problem. As a result, I had a hard time articulating what I wanted to communicate through speech. Every Tuesday and Thursday, I was pulled out of class to go to speech classes. This created insecurity because every time I spoke, certain pronunciations would reveal a flaw in my communication. My voice was labeled damaged. I decided that I would not let that label remain attached to my name. Instead, I worked hard to overcome it. This was the moment where the use of my voice to communicate originated and would remain a common theme throughout the rest of my life. Looking back, having to overcome that speech problem motivated me to speak more and be confident in everything I had to say. These experiences were the impetus to use my voice to impact an even bigger stage. In 2020, during the middle of COVID-19 pandemic, I created my own podcast, Coffee, Tea, and Everything Between. I use my podcast to communicate issues in my community and bring awareness to daily struggles. The podcast allows me to review local coffee shops as I discuss topics that impact people in my community. With every word and sip of coffee, the podcast became my personal oasis, a therapeutic session I didn't realize I and my listeners needed. I found a sense of pride in using my voice to inspire others to call for change. This confidence of using my voice to speak out is what led me to participate in the moot court during my junior and senior year at Tennessee State University. And the experience from moot court is what confirmed being a lawyer is the next step of my journey. The feeling of being able to verbally advocate in front of a judge gave me a sense of pride and fulfillment. The goosebumps I felt as I poured my heart into communicating on behalf of my client highlighted the passion I have for continuing to use my voice. And the awards I received from practicing attorneys further confirmed that the way I want to use that voice is through litigation. I have been blessed with my voice at each stage of my life, and it has prepared me for this moment. As a baby, I used my voice to show I was unwell. As a child, I overcame speech issues, and now as an adult, I use my voice to impact the community through my podcast. The passion, dedication, and perseverance I displayed in each stage will be the same qualities I bring to law school in the legal field. This last portion is a piece of advice that I would recommend to everybody, that you kind of wrap it up by explaining how this applies to whatever law school you're applying to. And so in this case, I will be using the law school I'll be attending in the fall, University of Alabama School of Law. University of Alabama School of Law will help me obtain my professional goals by offering experimental learning opportunities such as the ones provided through the Entrepreneurship and Nonprofit Clinic. The IT Clinic will give me hands-on experience representing clients with transactional legal services. The clinic also gives me a chance to work on intellectual property matters for local businesses and community organizations. In particular, I am excited for the opportunity to come back to my home state and develop my professional skills by working directly with the clients and providing community education workshops through the IT Clinic. Beyond what Alabama will give me, as a first-generation law graduate, I'll contribute a new perspective, diverse thoughts, and experiences to the classroom. Additionally, from my community involvement, I will bring a spirit of collaboration and dedication. I am delighted at the chance to receive an education from the University of Alabama School of Law and contribute to the overall classroom experience. Okay, y'all, so next I will read my diversity statement. So just a precursor, I wrote my diversity statement about graduating and attending an historically Black college and university, aka a HBCU. Attending a historically Black college and university was the best decision of my life. HBCUs were originally created to serve the educational needs of Black Americans at a time they could not otherwise receive it. I decided to attend an HBCU because I went to schools that were predominantly white institutions my entire life and wanted to experience the environment I would watch TV shows about. I grew up watching A Different World episodes, a show focused on a group of students who attended an HBCU, and was fascinated with the culture it exuded. I knew that was something I wanted to experience, and once I arrived at my HBCU, Tennessee State University, I had no clue it would change my life for the better. When I think of experiences at my HBCU that have helped me grow as a student, I think about how Tennessee State University, the only four-year public institution in Nashville, would host the MLK Day Joint Day of Service every year. As a result, I was able to interview civil rights activist Dr. Rip Patton and engage in a conversation with him in front of every university in Nashville about his experience of demanding social change. I also think about how I was able to join the National Association of Colored Women's Club, an organization that allowed me to have sisterhood focused on uplifting women and children through the community service. Overall, I think the biggest thing I gained at an HBCU is exposure to diversity beyond race, but religion, beliefs, socioeconomic class, and more. Attending and graduating from an HBCU makes me a diverse candidate because I have diverse experiences that many students do not have the opportunity to have. That is, attending an institution that is focused on one particular area of society. I'm excited to bring a new and different perspective to the classroom discussions and use my experiences to engage with the community outside the law school. If you're still with me, shout out to you. I really wanted to share both of those statements just to give you kind of idea of where to go. Please don't copy my statement. But really, the advice I would give is to be unique, to think outside the box. With the diversity statement, they already saw that I was a Black woman. I wanted to give them something more than that. So I thought my experience as an HBCU graduate was super unique in the fact that everybody doesn't come from that type of experience. When I think about my personal statement, I wanted to show experiences of me being ambitious, me being a leader in my community and at my school. I wanted to show my drive. It was a couple of things that I want to show them multiple aspects about myself that wrapped into a pretty package of why I want to become an attorney. Specifically, I want to practice litigation. And so I think I did a really great job about that. It was not easy. I had so many drafts, so many revisions. I had a really great professor that literally would be on the phone with me for hours, literally just helping me edit and look over like what I need to change, any punctuations. And so I'm extremely grateful for that. But I want you guys to know that this is the chance for you to sell why they need you in your class. You have to be your biggest advocate really in life, but especially when it comes to these law school applications. You need to tell them, this is why you deserve to have me in your class. And this is what I could contribute. And this is how I could help, blah, 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 blah. It's your chance to prove it beyond your scores and beyond your GPA and beyond your resume. And so, yeah, I really hope that helped you guys out. But if any of y'all have any questions in particular, you can always comment below or DM me on Instagram. I will be happy to help you guys out. I hope you enjoyed this video. And with that is all. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share with somebody that's going through this process, or if you're going through this process, keep following along. And I hope you guys have a great day.